Hey there, welcome to Paleologic. And today we're answering the question, what if dinosaurs had survived? We ain't often think of a world where dinosaurs never went extinct, because our planet's recovery after the Chicxulub impact seems so ancient history. But the truth is that this event happened within the blink of an eye on the geologic timescale. And had things gone just a little differently, Earth's more recent history could have been radically different. In fact, some scientists even believe that if dinosaurs were still with us today, they might be at the top of the food chain. Let's take a closer look at what might have been. First off, let's imagine a world where the asteroid did not strike 66 million years ago. Over the following millions of years, dinosaurs would have continued to rule the land. This may sound strange since their extinction allowed mammals like our distant ancestors to rise to the top of the food chain, but dinosaurs might have prevented us from getting here in the first place. Mammals took over only because they were in the right place at the right time. And though we can debate whether we were lucky to evolve into the dominant species or dinosaurs were simply too big to adapt to smaller bodies, the truth is we can't say for sure what would have happened. But one thing's for certain, we wouldn't be having this conversation without the extinction of the dinosaurs. Okay, now let us go back in time to when our ancestors first started to walk upright in Africa around 6 million years ago. At the time, the largest land predator was probably something like Australopithecus, a biped with a small brain that lived in trees. Life would have been pretty difficult with the constant threat of being stomped on by a sauropod. So our hominid ancestors likely would have lived in tight-knit groups, constantly on the move and always watching out for the next meal or the next monster to try and eat them. These days, people living in places where large carnivores live like to carry bear spray to keep them away. But our ancestors would have needed something much stronger. Early humans would have needed to build cities with massive protective barriers to keep the rampaging reptiles out. And no doubt there would have been plenty of charges during construction. Every day would have been filled with dodging giant lizards. In fact, it might have been legal to drive them over with a sort of dinosaur Uber, although good luck finding a driver willing to do it. Life would be scary, unpredictable, and dangerous. Our ancestors would have spent most of their time staying out of the way of giant monsters. Sounds fun, right? Well, maybe if you love Jurassic Park. But, wait, let's say early humans managed to survive all this. Eventually, we might have evolved into a society capable of subduing dinosaurs. People in this world would have to ride horses or elephants just to get to work. Traffic jams would suck, but at least you wouldn't need to worry about parking tickets. And forget about living in a studio apartment. Everyone would need to live in mansions with dinosaur-proof basements to hide in during the day. You might want to take up arms just to defend your property. And there would certainly be a market for weapons, but a knight in shining armor wouldn't be able to save you. Even a well-aimed lance wouldn't be enough to bring down a dinosaur. Instead, you'd need an advanced high-tech weapon to fight fire with fire. This would require developing powerful explosives, armored vehicles, and heavy machinery. And speaking of technology, communication would be vital to avoid running into one of these behemoths in the street. But that might not even be enough. If a dinosaur stampede broke out, everyone would need to know how to fight back. After all, when they weren't trying to eat you, they would be trampling you. To escape, you'd need to organize a defense force equipped with the same tech as the military. With everything going on, this world sounds exhausting to live in. No wonder so many people dream about it. Now, it's important to remember that not all dinosaurs were huge. Take, for example, the ornithomid dinosaurs like Struthia. These ostrich-like dinosaurs were about 3 meters long and weighed around 900 kilograms. They could run at speeds of up to 70 kilometers per hour. In fact, they were so fast that they didn't even need to thermoregulate while sprinting. That's how fit they were. In this world, they'd be similar to wild horses, occasionally raiding farms and pulling down power lines. But it wasn't all good news for fast-moving dinos. Some scientists believe that the Trudon, a relative of the Velociraptor, was on an evolutionary path to becoming smarter than the average dinosaur. Today, some experts say that the Trudon was among the smartest animals alive, with a brain that was nearly twice the size it needed to survive. It was also relatively small, standing about 1 meter tall and 6 meters long. If the asteroid hadn't struck, this dinosaur could have become a real problem for humans. Some paleontologists even believe that the Trudon could have become sentient, learned how to use tools, and even develop language. So, yeah, a T-Rex might not be so bad, but an intelligent velociraptor, that would be terrifying. The best part of this alternate history, though, is how nature would change to accommodate these large animals. According to researchers, large herbivores are essential for shaping forests. They found that when a large mammal disappears from its ecosystem, trees quickly spread across the landscape, drastically changing vegetation patterns. Without herbivores to keep them in check, plants can grow unchecked. Tall trees block sunlight from reaching the forest floor, which makes it hard for anything to grow underneath them. In other words, forests will eventually stop producing anything larger than shrubs. So no more mighty redwoods or giraffes either. Researchers even discovered that large predators play a role in determining where forests can grow. When wolves disappeared from Yellowstone National Park, elk numbers skyrocketed, which led to As a result, there aren't any trees left in the park. So when dinosaurs roamed free, Forests would be forced to grow only in places with enough sunlight to penetrate the canopy. The rest of the land would be full of shrubs and dry grasses. But wait, it gets even wilder. Large herbivores also influence where rivers can flow. Their deep incisors and specialized gut bacteria allow them to efficiently digest cellulose, the main component of plants. This means they can survive eating nothing but plants. And because they're so big, they move around a lot. All that walking causes them to drink lots of water, and then they pee a lot, too. More pee means more water is available for plants to absorb, which leads to more plant growth. And more plants mean more food for more herbivores, more rivers, and more flooding. So it looks like a world with dinosaurs would be very wet. But who's ready for the weirdest thing about a world where dinosaurs never went extinct? It might have happened anyway. Though the asteroid that wiped out the dinosaurs was 10 kilometers wide, scientists have found evidence of another space rock that hit the planet just a few months before. This second asteroid was smaller, only about 40 meters wide, but it's thought to have triggered a series of events that caused massive volcanic eruptions. Today, scientists can't agree on whether the second asteroid alone could have caused the mass extinction. It might have weakened the planet's crust just enough for the larger space rock to cause total devastation. It's also possible that both asteroids would have had a devastating impact no matter what. But here's the thing, volcanoes were already active in India at the time. A paper published in 2021 suggests that the second asteroid could have coincided with the beginning of the latest phase of the Deccan Traps volcanism. This eruption site covers a region of 500,000 square kilometers and is now submerged under the Arabian Sea. Researchers estimate that the volume of lava released was between 1 and 2 million cubic kilometers. It was one of the largest known volcanic eruptions in history, though it wasn't the biggest. Interestingly, studies show that the first asteroid hit close to the Yucatan Peninsula, while the second was thought to have landed near the island of Sri Lanka. The timing of these impacts, along with the location of the volcanic activity in India, has led some scientists to suggest that the two asteroids could have triggered the end Cretaceous mass extinction independently. In other words, the dinosaurs might have been doomed, regardless. But it's not just ancient history where dinosaurs are making headlines. Advances in genetic engineering have raised the possibility of bringing them back. In 2021, Dr. Beth Shapiro, professor of ecology and evolutionary biology at the University of California, Santa Cruz, said that recreating extinct animals using preserved DNA is theoretically possible. However, she added that no one has yet to figure out how to recreate an entire animal using this technique. There's just so much missing genetic material. Still, this hasn't stopped her from trying. While some argued that we should avoid messing with nature at all costs, others believe it could help us understand evolution and even save endangered species. Others have argued that creating dinosaurs could allow us to put on display animals we've never seen alive. Either way, we'll have to wait until science catches up with fiction before we can see a real-life Jurassic Park. Or maybe we won't. So, do you think we could have lived alongside dinosaurs? Would you want to share your thoughts below? And don't forget to subscribe for new episodes every week. Thanks for coming along on this journey through time. I'll see you later.